Hey everyone, welcome back. Ready for another deep dive? Today we're tackling something that's kind of taken over, the whole way we think about work and success.
Hustle culture.
Hustle culture, yeah. Is it the key, like the real key to making it, or, and I kind of hate to say it, is it setting us all up for a massive burnout?
Right. You see it everywhere. Social media is packed with it. Like, everyone's got to be grinding 24/7. But what's the cost, really?
And that's what we're going to unpack today. We dug into some fascinating research. It's like almost a historical timeline, right? Shows how this whole hustle thing evolved.
Yeah, it's fascinating. And kind of scary, too. We went from this, like, work hard, be successful idea.
Which, hey, I'm all about hard work, right?
Yeah, totally. But it's morphed into this never stop, never rest pressure cooker.
Always be optimizing.
Exactly. Like, you're only worth something if you're constantly producing, achieving, hustling. It's messed up.
It really is. Okay, so the research breaks it down into these phases, right? It starts with what they call the era of glorification. Basically, hustle culture was put on a pedestal.
Yeah. Sleep when you're dead, that whole thing. But then it gets insidious. It moves to this internalization and pressure phase.
Where we start believing we have to hustle all the time.
Exactly. And that's when the damage starts. It's not just about working hard anymore. It's this constant pressure to prove your worth, to be productive every single minute.
You start to feel guilty for, like, taking a break.
Totally. Rest becomes the enemy.
And the crazy thing is, the research actually backs this up. They found that, get this, people who strongly identify with hustle culture are 60% more likely to experience burnout. 60%.
It's wild, right? And it's not just about the sheer hours, It's the pressure, the stress, the mental toll it takes. It seeps into every corner of your life.
It's like you're trading your well-being for this promise of what? Success.
Right. And even then, is it really success?
That's a great question. And you know what else this research highlights?
What's that?
All this hustling. It can actually stifle creativity.
Oh, absolutely. You're so busy grinding, you don't have the mental space for those sparks of inspiration.
Right. No time to explore, to experiment, to just let your mind wander. And forget about relationships.
Yeah, when you're always on, there's not much left for connecting with people.
I mean, think about it. How many times have you seen those, picture-perfect success stories online?
The ones that are like, I hustle harder than you and I never sleep and whatever.
Yeah. And you're like, wait, is that what I'm supposed to be doing? But what they don't show is the dark side.
The burnout, the exhaustion, the breakdowns.
The loneliness. Like, they make it look glamorous, but it's not.
And that's what's so dangerous. It sets up these unrealistic expectations that are impossible to live up to.
And then when we inevitably crash and burn, we blame ourselves. Like, what's wrong with me? I'm not hustling hard enough.
Right. But what if the whole model is broken? What if we've been sold a lie?
That's a good question. I mean, where do we even go from here? Is there a way out?
There is. The research actually calls this the realization and disillusionment phase. People are starting to wake up to the fact that hustle culture isn't all it's cracked up to be.
They're seeing the cracks in the facade.
Exactly. And they're looking for alternatives, a way to achieve success without sacrificing their health and happiness.
Okay, so tell me about these alternatives. What does a healthy approach look like?
Well, the research calls it the search for alternatives. It's about finding a more balanced, sustainable way to work and live.
I'm all ears.
It starts with recognizing that, your worth isn't tied to your productivity.
You're valuable just for being you, not just for what you do.
Exactly. And then it's about setting boundaries.
Oh, boundaries. I need to work on those.
Yeah, we all do. It's about having dedicated time for work, but also dedicated time for rest, for family, for hobbies, for just being.
So it's about finding that balance. Work hard, but also rest hard.
Precisely. And prioritize self-care.
Oh, self-care. So important. It's not selfish. It's essential.
Exactly. It's like you can't pour from an empty cup.
Love that. What else?
Well, this might sound counterintuitive, but slow down.
Slow down.
Yeah, give yourself permission to do less, to focus on quality over quantity.
Okay, less is more. I like that.
Right. And this is where the research gets really interesting. It talks about exposing the lies of hustle culture.
Like what?
Well, one big one is that you have to be constantly busy to be successful.
Oh, tell me about it.
The research actually shows that periods of rest and downtime are crucial for creativity and productivity.
So taking breaks isn't just okay, it's actually good for us.
Exactly. And another lie is that success is all about individual achievement.
The lone wolf hustler grinding it out on their own.
Right. But the research highlights the importance of community, of collaboration, of supporting each other.
Which makes total sense. We're not meant to do this alone.
Exactly. And this is where the whole idea of redefining success comes in. It's not about chasing external validation or comparing yourself to others.
It's about defining what success means to you.
Exactly. What are your values? values? What are your passions? What brings you joy?
And then building a life that aligns with those things.
Exactly. The research calls it towards a sustainable future, a future where we're not just surviving, but thriving.
Where we're not just working, but living.
And that's a future I think we can all get behind.
Me too. And, thinking about all this, it makes me wonder, what if instead of hustling our way to exhaustion, we embraced a different kind of ambition?
What do you mean?
An ambition that's rooted in purpose, in passion, in genuine connection.
I love that. An ambition that fuels our creativity, not drains it.
Exactly. And what if, instead of measuring our worth by how much we do, we measured it by how well we live?
By the impact we have on the world, the relationships we nurture, the joy we experience.
And that, my friends, is the real challenge. To step off the hamster wheel of hustle culture and create a life that truly matters.
A life that's not just about success, but about significance.
So what do you think? Have you felt the pressure of hustle culture? Have you found ways to break free? We want to hear your stories, share your thoughts, your insights, your struggles. Let's keep this conversation going.